Yeah, he is in this. We seem to have emerged in the Ost District. Machias' home is here, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, I had no idea that underground passage went all the way from the port to here. That network of tunnels beneath the city really does seem to cover a vast area. It's like something out of a spy novel. I'll say. Maybe it's a sign. What's that? That must be the chime to mark the noon hour. Yeah, that timed out cathedral bell. The cathedral itself is pretty far away, over in the Sack district, but you can hear it pretty clearly even here. Well, I think it's about time we found something to eat. How about we order to go from one of the local shops? And we don't really have much, but I'd be happy to at least treat you to coffee over at our house. What? You mean Machias? You're inviting us into your home? We decided to grab some fish and chips to go from a nearby pub. With our meal in hand, we headed to Machias' home to enjoy lunch with a good cup of coffee. Ah, so this is the capital's famous fish and chips. I was expecting it to be delicious, but even so, I'm impressed. Yeah, that pub's supposed to be pretty well known for their fish and chips. Well, it might taste good, but at the end of the day, it's still greasy comfort food. Better eat it while it's hot. It tastes disgusting if you let it cool off. He does have a point. That's true. Probably still better than wartime rations, though. What food isn't? This coffee seems pretty high class, though. It's got a nice, rich fragrance. Go buy your own beans and grind them at home. Yeah, it looks like my father went out and stocked up not too long ago. Now and then he gets a chance to take some time away from his duties and come relax back here. He uses his coffee as a small island of luxury in his hectic daily life, I think. That does sound like something I could see Governor Regnitz say. He seems like quite a respectable man to me. You'd hardly imagine a home like this belonging to an important official like the Imperial Governor. It's tiny. You know, Fee, it wouldn't hurt to be a little less blood. No worries. As I said, my father and I are commoners through and through. He might be a top official now, but none of us really saw that as a reason to change our whole lifestyle. Besides, it's not as though we don't have some attachment to this house. Ah, right. It does sound like a comfy place to live in, though. Really cozy and relaxing.
There's a photo.
Oh, that.
Aww, look at cute little Machias there.
He looks like he had such a sweet disposition.
Yeah, before he grew up to be a stubborn old nag.
Stop nitpicking people's old family photos! Honestly.
The governor looks the same as ever, though. Is that woman next to him your older sister or something?
Close enough. She was a cousin on my father's side of the family. Since she lived quite close, she often came to visit. Now her family was just my father and I, so having her around was a big help.
The way you speak about her seems to imply you no longer see her. Did she get married and move away?
She died. Around 6 years ago.
Oh.
I see. And that has something to do with why you hate the nobility, right?
So...
I never really planned on telling anyone about this. But considering all we've been through, I suppose it's time I told you a little more about me. It's a long story, but Would you hear me out?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Glad to.
Thanks. Sis was 9 years my senior. Beautiful, kind. To me, she was in every sense the ideal woman. Now, as I said earlier, we're a family of commoners through and through. But my father proved to be a very capable government official. And eventually he was promoted to an important government position where he started to make a name for himself. Honesty and integrity are a core part of his work ethic. So, of course, he made his fair share of enemies. But after seeing success in a number of major projects, he gained a reputation both inside and outside the government. My mother died when I was still young, but Sis happened to live around here and ended up helping us in more ways than I can count. Since she was his niece, my father always made a fuss over her. And even though she didn't live in the same house, she was like a real sister to me, and a real daughter to my father. I was always so proud of her. As a child, she was practically my idol. And as you'd expect, she had countless admirers among the men of the city. But for all her popularity, she was always level-headed and sensible. So I never felt I had anything to worry about. Until he appeared. He was one of my father's subordinates at City Hall. Though unlike him, he was a noble by birth. A man of high rank, too. The heir of a count. However, he had none of the arrogance or haughtiness one usually associates with the nobility. When I met him myself, he came across as an honest and loyal man. He met Sis when Dad introduced him to her one day. And eventually, the two of them fell in love and began a relationship, despite the difference in their social status. As a child, I was frustrated beyond words. But even I had to admit that the two of them made a good couple. And Sis seemed so happy when she was with him that I had no choice but to let it go and accept their relationship. Time went on and they became engaged, with Dad acting as the go-between. And that's when everything started to fall apart. His family couldn't have been more blatant in their attempts to undermine the relationship. Apparently, one of the four great houses, House Cayenne, proposed an arranged marriage on short notice. And the Count's family were up in arms at the thought he might choose to take a mere commoner as his wife. Since my father held an important post, they were limited in how shamelessly they could try to sabotage the marriage. But they began to harass and threaten her in secret every way they could think of. They made her life a living hell. Maybe she didn't want to cause trouble for the man she loved, or perhaps she did it out of consideration for my father. But all that time she chose to endure it alone. She never discussed it or asked for help. And finally, it became so crushing that she took her own life. It was only afterward that my father and I learned what had really happened. It seems that at the very last, he had chosen to betray her love for him. "But I told her," he said. "I told her I'd treasure her as my mistress instead if she'd just accept that we couldn't be married. I just don't understand it. Why would she take her own life?" After that, my father seemed to redouble his efforts. It was like watching a machine kick into high gear. With the help of his ally, Chancellor Osborne, he was able to wrest control of City Hall from the noble faction. Then, 4 years ago, he was appointed to his current position as governor of Heimdall. And that's how the Regnitz family came to be where it is.
I don't even know what to say.
So that's why you started hating nobles?
Yeah. I was so furious at Sis's death. My hatred needed to be directed at someone. Anyone. First I blamed her fiancé, then his family, then the family of the Duke who tried to intervene. In the end, I just hated the nobility as a whole. The people, their culture, the entire idea of social classes. I desperately wanted the strength to win against them. To show how right I was. How wrong they were. But deep down, I knew the truth about my hate. I knew I was taking out my anger on people who didn't deserve it. People who had done nothing wrong.
You did?
They may be from different social classes, but people are still individuals. Sis's fiancé was faithful to her. He just wasn't strong enough to shield her from all that ugliness, despite his love. And the Count and his family were only acting in their best interests, which is to be expected, really. Ultimately, I've had to acknowledge that not all commoners are good people, and not all nobles are unworthy of respect. Eustace might not have done much to change my opinion, but getting to know you two showed me that there are nobles who live up to that name.
Machias.
I have no idea how my father feels about all of this, but this is how I've come to feel.
I see. You have my thanks.
I'm glad you felt you could talk to us about it.
Still, I don't think it hurt to be a bit more honest with yourself. If you're willing to admit all of that, maybe you can find it in you to be friends with Eustace too.
Are you kidding me? I might accept that not all nobles are bad, but that arrogant, self-centered fool can go choke on a palm. He's mocking me for spending so much time studying, or telling me I need to get out more.
I don't think he goes quite that far. Besides, I don't think he does it on purpose. He doesn't mean any harm.
That's the most irritating part! He does it without thinking!
Well, that was a good coffee break, wouldn't you say?
Well, lunchtime is over. Yeah, it must be about time for the summer festival decorations to start going up. Huh? I would have thought the preparations for that would have started way before now. Is the summer festival not that big a deal in the capital? It depends on who you ask, I guess. I've always just thought of it as one of those small yearly traditions. In my hometown, the summer festival is a major event with extensive preparations. Perhaps those places where the ancient animistic traditions survive put more effort into celebrating the festival. Animism does seem to have mostly vanished around here. Not as much as in Ruhr or Crossbell, though. Well, I suppose it's hard to think of it as a seasonal festival in the capital when it's celebrated a month late to begin with. I think most just see it as an opportunity to catch a glimpse of the Imperial family. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, that makes sense. Is that your Arceus ringing? What you doing out here? This is Class 7, Group A, Green Swords speaking. Hello there, Ree. This is Carl Regnitz. Governor Regnitz? Dad? Come to think of it, he did say that we'd be able to use our Arceus communication functionality in the city, didn't he? Your Group A's representative, so I figured it'd be best to call you. Now a good time. Yeah, that was totally fine. I actually just left your home. Machias invited us in for a coffee. Did you not? I had a favorite specialty store roast those beans just the way I like it. It was top-notch brew, alright. With all that's been going on, it was nice to just sit down and enjoy a good cup of coffee. Well, I'm glad you were able to spend some quality time together. Anyway, getting to the point. I'm calling because we have a bit of a problem on our hands. That being the case, I'd like Group A to take care of one additional task for me. Extra task? We can do that, sure. But what exactly is it that you'd like us to do? There appears to have been a burglar at a jeweller's in the Garnia district. But that's not all. The culprit seems to have left a message addressed to you. What? Your confusion is understandable. However, the jeweller submitted a report of the burglary to City Hall a short while ago. Normally I'd leave this to the proper authorities, but would you be willing to go and see if there's anything you can do? Of course, sir. We'll head over to the Garnier district at once. Alright then, I'll leave this matter in your good hands. What was that all about? Whatever it was, you seem perplexed. Well, wait till you hear this. We'd explain the particulars of Governor Regnit's additional task to the group. So a jewelry boutique was burglarized and the culprit left a message addressed to us? Weird. Well, thinking about it, this all sounds kinda familiar. Yeah, now that you mention it, I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu as well. Still, it would have been helpful if my father could have furnished a few more details. Well, it's already past noon. Let's head over to the Garnier district to find out what happened. We and the other members of Group A paid a short visit to Heimdall Port to report the monster's extermination. After doing so, they boarded a tram to the Garnier district. It seems the burglary is taking place at a jeweler's in the Garnier district called San Corres. We should head over and find out what happened as soon as possible. Alrighty. There was a robbery right in here. The real question is, what is this message that they said aimed directly at us? Excuse me, are you in charge of this store? We're here on behalf of the local government to investigate the reported burglary. Yeah, that's right, I'm the owner. You must be the students from Thor's military academy. Indeed, Class 7 Group A at your service. Oh, thank goodness. We may yet have a chance to recover the Crimson Tiara. So that's the object that was stolen? Yes, exactly. It's embedded with Princess Cornelian gemstones, captivating the hearts of all who gaze upon it. It's the centerpiece of our display and a national treasure valued at almost 100 million mira. Really pricey. Yeah, I'll say. It was being displayed in that big showcase in the center of the room, wasn't it? I'd heard that the store was fitted with the best security system money could buy, so they could display the tiara safely. I'm afraid this was all due to my carelessness. There was no problem with our recently installed security system. The problem was me falling right into Phantom Thief B's trap. The Phantom Thief B? I've heard all manner of rumors about him, but I still find it hard to believe this was actually his doing. The name sounds kinda familiar though. Seems like Elliot and Machias novel. Yeah, he's a thief with quite a reputation in the capital. He calls himself a liberator of beauty. And he made quite a name for himself with a string of major thefts a number of years ago. He's even gained an enthusiastic fan following for the daring and graceful methods he uses during his thefts. Oh, now I remember where I've heard this name before. He's a thief who managed to steal an orbital tank from the Imperial Army, right? Yeah, that's one of his most famous exploits. I seem to recall hearing that story myself. I wonder how each one steals a tank. So, do we know how the tiara was stolen? Phantom Thief B is well known for sending the victim a card notifying them of his intended crime before he commits it. Did he send a card this time? Yeah, that's right. The card also contained this message. Your prized tiara has already been replaced with an imitation. However, the message was a fake. While we did have the utmost faith in our security system, we knew that if anyone could get past it, it would be him. We decided to open up the display case to check the tiara, but as it turns out, that's what he was counting on us to do. So that's when he stole the tiara, huh? I'm afraid so. Unbelievable. I assume you weren't able to get a good look at the culprit's face. Indeed, as soon as we opened the display case, the lights all went out. By the time we got them back on, the tiara had vanished. I see. Sounds like he's no ordinary thief. With a piece as valuable as this, can you maybe explain how you decided we'd be the optimal choice for this request? Of course. Please, take a look at this. To the owner of this fine establishment, know that I have the Crimson Tiara securely in my possession. Should you fulfill my conditions, I promise that it shall be returned to you unharmed. If not, I make no guarantees. First, you must report this incident to the Railway Military Police. Second, you must deliver the other card here to the members of Thor's Military Academy Class 7 Group A. Third, the aforementioned Group A must overcome the trial written on said card. Phantom Thief B. It really is addressed to us. I find the thief's apparent reveling in his crime somewhat unpleasant. Yeah, on the other hand, he's giving us a chance to get the tiara back. True. Do you have this other card that the thief mentioned? Of course, please take a look at this. Salutations, ladies and gentlemen of Thor's Military Academy's Class 7 Group A. Should you wish to recover the treasure you seek, attempt and overcome the trials I've placed before you. All of the keys lie within the Vermilion capital. The first key is at the feet of the Conqueror with the heart of a lion. A riddle, is it? Well, I'm sure the Vermilion capital is just referring to the city itself. But as for the feet of the Conqueror with the heart of the lion, seems like a treasure hunt, and this card's our first clue. It does seem that way. So, do you think it can help us out? We'd be happy to. Indeed, taunting us like that, I'm off wiping that smug satisfaction off his face. Let us be off then. Thank you so much, please find us. Yeah, he is a bit of a dick, so let's do this. The the Conqueror with the heart of a lion. Well, that could only really mean one person. And there's a statue that is poorly rendered and then some, in the center of this capital. Which is right in here. Heart of a lion, huh? Well, the crest does actually have a lion on it, so it makes sense. Anyway, give it. The Conqueror with the heart of a lion. It couldn't be anything other than the statue of Emperor Dracula. Agreed, it's hard to hear a clue like that and not immediately think of Dracula as a Lionheart. And this statue is the most famous monument of him here in Heimdall. Then chances it's good that we're in the right place. The card's safe to look at his feet. Let's do it then. Oh, here we go. It's the same type of cards as last one too. I assume we were correct then? Well, we won't know until we check. The second key is in the northeastern seat of the Prismatic Palace. Second key, so basically we've got another scavenger hunt. So it seems. Can't believe he's making us go through this whole rigmarole. Well, what can you do but play along though? And the northeastern streets of the Prismatic Palace. What could that mean? Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. When I first did this, I spent a good part of like an hour and a half running in circles around this fucking town because I couldn't work out what the Prismatic Palace is. So, as such, I asked the trusty Sid, because he plays it before me, and asked him what it was. To which he replied with a riddle of his own. What is... oh fuck, what was it? What is a... ah crap, what was it? He told me this... that was like years ago now. It was something along the lines of... what is a gem that isn't a gem? Or what is beauty that cannot be seen? That idea. Can't remember what the actual words were, but he replied his own goddamn riddle. And after about an hour and a half of that, I then worked out, wait, a gem isn't a gem, but it's beauty. Somehow, because apparently people compare beauty and gems. I don't fucking know. But that's all I came to. And everyone says that gardens are beautiful, so I kind of put two and two together and went, crystal, that's normally quite beautiful, a garden, reasonably so. So now, I just need to remember which seat it was. Over here. Okay, maybe I'm in the wrong fucking place here. Okay, maybe it's the other way. Wait. Is it the other way? Or am I just going the wrong way? Okay, let me read this again, and we'll see. Okay, none of these help. Nope. Right, fuck it. Oh wait, there you go. Look. You weren't looking for that, you wouldn't notice it. Ready. This must be the Prismatic Palace. Yeah, all the signs point to the clue referring to the Crystal Garden, which leaves only the northeastern seat. I'm presuming it refers to an actual place where it can sit. Which would suggest we ought to investigate this bench on the northeastern part of the garden. Is that it? Prismatic, that's it. You obtained the Phantom Thief card. Seems so. What's it say? Let's see, the third key is... at the round table where once rested the gauntlets that supported east of the city. Oh goody, another riddle. Still, what can we do but keep going? Ah, it seems fate has ordained that we should meet again. I recognize that voice. Who were you again? It's found in Bluebond. Yeah, we first met him during our field study in Breahard, I believe. Tribute, I'm most pleased to see that you've not forgotten me. Though if my eyes do not deceive me, you have two new faces amongst your throng today, no? Hi, it's nice to meet you. I've heard mention of you from my classmates. Has your search for beauty brought you all the way to Heimdall too? You could indeed say that. However, to meet not just in Breahard, but amongst the picturesque elegance of the Vermilion capital as well. Truly, it seems that we are bound together by a destiny most inseparable, would you not agree? I'm not so sure of that one. He's a bit on the unique side, isn't he? Yeah, unique. Let's just call it that. Didn't sense it coming at all, though. Hahaha. Please, the intensity of your stares is positively withering. Or is it that my overwhelming beauty has clutched your heart so tightly that you cannot help but gaze and wonder? Oh, I'd bet all the meat I have on me that's absolutely not the case. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's still much I have to attend to. I wish you all the best of luck in your studies. And there he goes. What did he come to convey to us? What's that guy? Nobody knows. Did we read the last card? But yeah, we did. Something about gauntlets and holding up a city. The only thing I remember in this city with gauntlets is, convenient enough, nobody in our team uses them, so it's not the equipment shop. So the only place that uses gauntlets is the Bracer Guild, because a bracer is a gauntlet. Okay. Which means we need to go here, right? Alto Street? Oh, so this Phantom Thief is a royal pain in my ass. I am the mighty Phantom Thief who will make you run in fucking circles around the city for 20 minutes. Why? Because I am a Phantom Thief douchebag. Okay, right now, where would you put a card if you were gonna put a card here? Yeah, I was thinking like the reception or near the logo in some form. Okay. Let's be around here somewhere. Oh yeah, so I got the gauntlets that's quite east of the city. The gauntlet is a symbol of Bracer Guild, isn't it? It's on their emblem too. Yeah, the ones in the east parts mentioned on the note seem important as well. This building was once a branch of the guild, and while the capital once had two such branches, this is the easternmost one. This must be the round table they were up. I forgot about that. Yeah, round table. Ah, here it is. Can't believe you even trespassed into our logics. Indeed, from the list of things, it doesn't look like he touched anything else. Still not a pleasant thought. Yeah, it's kinda creepy knowing he was here. Especially considering that we don't know exactly what he's after. Anyway, let's see what the card says. The fourth key is on the back of the white burden of the steel bird perched at the water's edge. Sure enough, it's another riddle. And a rather challenging one at that.